family, peace and blessings. Welcome back. Today we're talking about the mark of Cain. All right, a lot of novices on the internet will try to trick you guys about the mark of Cain and saying things like, oh, I have the mark of Cain, or blah blah blah, you know, don't mess with them, oh, they're so good at magic and stuff like that, they're so protected by God, all this stuff, right? Okay, truly, if you adhere to the polarity conscious, right, we all have the mark of Cain, right? Every single one of us, okay? Polarity conscious, right? We are all one, right? There is no separation, right? We are Cain, okay? That's polarity conscious. We are Cain. Everyone is Cain. Everyone is protected by God. Everyone has been exiled. You leaving your mother is exile in itself, okay? You leaving your house, your kingdom is exile, all right? Everyone is protected by God, right? The mark of Cain was a mark put on Cain by God that gave him protection, right? From enemies, from people who want to do him harm, right? It says that whoever does Cain harm, right, karma will come back to them, right? God's wrath will come back to them in a multitude of ways, right? I think it's like 7 times, right? His descendants is 49 times, right? And multiplies by 7 every time. But truly, right, we all have this mark. This mark is not that important, okay? There's 2 ways to think about this. In the polarity conscious, we're all Cain anyway. We're all just one anyway. It doesn't matter, right? But in the individual conscious, right, you have your own mark. Your own mark is much more important than Cain's mark, right? You're John, all right, you got the mark of John, right? You're Brittany, you got the mark of Brittany. You're Ashley, you got the mark of Ashley, right? The mark of Asia, the mark of Brad, you get what I'm saying? The mark of Tyrone, you get what I'm saying? The mark of Jerome, whatever your name is, you get what I'm saying? The mark of Lee, the mark of Courtney, whatever it is, right? That is your energy. That's your energy signature, right? You have your own mark. You were created by God, right? A lot of us, right, have multiple reincarnations. You get what I'm saying? We carry on energy from our past reincarnations, right? Some of us play out this Cain energy, right, very, very well, right? In the polarity conscious, right, we are all Cain, right? I realize I am Cain, literally, right? In the individual conscious, right, I didn't resurrect as Cain personally in a body sense, right? This comes down to identity, how you identify yourself. Do you identify yourself as a soul, as a spirit, as a body, as a vessel, right? How do you identify yourself, right? How far has your consciousness gone? How far has your state of identity gone, right? My state of identity has gone into literal God, the God of everything, right? Which is polarity conscious, the God of everything, and the God of nothing, right, which is my own individual conscious. But in the individual sense, right, the mark of Cain is not a physical mark. It is a spiritual mark. It's a mark on your spirit, right, that lets other spirits know not to mess with you. That's ultimately what it is, right? It lets other angels know. If you do something to this person, right, you will be attacked. That's really what it is, right? But understand, right, if someone were to attack you, right, you have many forces who will defend you, right? That's what the law's for, right? That's what the police for. That's what, you know, our country's armies are for, right? You have friends who may defend you. You have family members who may defend you, right? In the same way you may defend them, right? So this mark, you know, isn't really that special in the polarity conscious sense, right? A lot of beings out here are very, very protected, right? Even the beings you think aren't that protected, don't have no spirit, don't have no soul, robots, AI, these beings, these spirits who claim that vessel, right, are very, very protected, right? On a polarity conscious, right? God wants to protect his entire creation, every single person. He's given all these people multiple chances. We get multiple chances. He even gave Cain multiple chances, right? The first murderer, right? Cain was exiled, right? People want to do harm to Cain because Cain brought a curse upon the earth, right? He cursed himself, he cursed his family, he killed his brother, the first murderer. So strangers and other random people who didn't even know Cain, right, wanted to murder him now, right? They were followers. How do you want to murder the first murderer? You're a follower, you're jealous, right? These people who are attacking Cain, right, It's like a mirror. They're jealous the same way Cain was jealous of Abel. They're jealous of Cain. They're envious of Cain the same way Cain was envious of Abel. They're working in their more dark energies, right? They're more young, foolish, naive energies, right? That's the only type of people who promote war in the first place, who promote aggression in the first place. People who don't actually adhere to the polarity conscious. People who aren't on a higher vibration, a higher state of mind and state of being, and realize that we're actually all family, right? People like Cain, right? A lot of us take after Cain, a lot of us take after Abel. Sometimes, okay, in a very, very high spiritual sense, sometimes protection can actually be bad, right? Sometimes your light literally blinds other people, right? Sometimes God light shining through you will blind other people. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad, right? There's pros and cons to having the mark of Cain, right? In the same way, there's pros and cons of just being you, of having your own mark, right? Some of us don't like ourselves. Some of us aren't confident. Some of us are just going through very, very tough times. Some of us have health problems, etc., right? We're all marked, right? So in a polarity sense, and even in an individual sense, right? You want to focus on your own mark, right? Look out for number one. Look out for yourself. You get what I'm saying? You are the ruler of your universe. You're the ruler of yourself, right? You have free will, right? You have to put yourself first, right? You want to be looked at, most of us, right, as a king, as a queen, right? We want to have authority, right? God has given us authority, whether we want it or not, right? We have authority over life. We have authority over the earth. We have authority over animals. We have authority over our free will. So your own mark is much more important. My mark is stronger than Cain's. You get what I'm saying? My mark is way stronger than Cain's. Same way people were trying to kill Cain anyway. Cain wasn't that protected, if you ask me. Cain got exiled. Cain had to go build a whole city by himself. Cain couldn't talk to his family, right? Cain wasn't that wise, right? You got to realize during that time period, right? Whatever time that was, right? Time is fake anyway. But during that time period, right? There was not that many humans on the earth, right? But there was a lot of spirits on the earth already. There was God on the earth, right? There was the devil on the earth. There was angels on the earth. There was demons on the earth, right? Cain had a lot of ways to express his distaste for God. He chose one of the weakest ways to do it, which was to kill his own brother, right? A lot of these novices look at that as a good thing for some reason. They haven't heard a fly. You get what I'm saying? They haven't joined no military. You get what I'm saying? They ain't controlled no drone strikes or something, but they look up to Cain. You get what I'm saying? You can go kill people legally if you really, really want to. You can go join the army. You get what I'm saying? Cain really, right, was just in his negative aspect, right? Cain deserves forgiveness like all of us, right? You know, it's really, how do you feel about the death penalty? Right? If someone murders someone, what do you think should happen to them? A lot of people think this person should just be murdered, right? Which is very, very negative, very animalistic, right? Not adhering to the polarity conscious at all, not adhering to God's will at all, not adhering to humanity and empathy, forgiveness at all, right? Some people just think, oh, we could just lock them away forever, right? We can just send them to prison. They could just do a life sentence, right? A life sentence is much more difficult than death. A much harsher punishment than death. Spending 50 years in prison, right? Everyone knowing you're a murderer, right? People just think, oh, you're a murderer. That doesn't just mean you can murder everyone. That doesn't mean you're just invincible or something. That doesn't mean there's not people stronger than you. You know, that doesn't mean there's not people who can break your spirit and break your soul. Literally, you know what I'm saying? The worst of the worst people, right? Archdemons, whatever. Archangels, you know what I'm saying? It's free game. It's free game at that point. You know what I'm saying? So realize you are very, very, very protected, especially if you're listening to me, right? Okay. Our band, okay, is trillions deep. We have trillions of spirits protecting us. You get what I'm saying? Not even talking about God. We got trillions of spirits under God protecting us, and God protecting us, okay? Some of us, we might even have Cain protecting us at this point, right? This was so many years ago, right? Cain has grown and leveled up and evolved like we're doing, okay? A lot of us don't really relate to Cain, right? Outside of the polarity conscious, you call me Cain, I'm not going to answer. right? We are not Cain. Most of us are not actually that spirit reincarnated, okay? But in the polarity conscious, right, we are everything. So if you're my student, I advise you work on your own energy. Your energy, your actions, your past, your future has a energy that is tied to you, that is impossible to take away from you. Okay, this is like permanently on you through all your reincarnations. This is your energy, it's you. Okay? God created us as individuals for a reason, right? We have the individual path, which I want you to master, right? We have the polarity path, which I want you to master. Okay, in the individual path, you are stronger than Cain. You have more power than Cain. You have more authority than Cain. Okay? In the polarity path, right? We have much more better energy than Cain's energy that we can use to manifest the things that we want. Okay? I advise you, this energy comes into your life, you know. Realize Cain has changed, right? Realize God forgave him first. Other people forgave him after, right? Even his own family members can forgive him, right? People make mistakes, right? We're not perfect. Right? In the polarity conscious, right? These fake spiritual people on the internet will tell you, you are God, right? You are God. You are also the devil, okay? That's polarity conscious. And all the spectrum in between, right? Their spirit's worse than the devil, but that's usually the most negative spirit people know, right? All in between. That's you. How do you feel about yourself? Okay, I'm not saying murderers should just be out, not in prison or something, right? But they can be rehabilitated and also be in a position to not harm anyone, right? Think Cain, I'm pretty sure, killed Abel, right, with a rock. Right, nowadays we got drones and nukes and all kind of stuff, satellite missiles, all kind of stuff, right? So this curse is on the earth because we're all Cain. God's vengeance is active on the earth. People are going through it. God letting demons rip people up. God letting angels rip people up. Demons are nothing but angels who feel a different way, who fell, who just feel a different way, who are more aggressive. Some angels are super aggressive and haven't failed. You get what I'm saying? They just feel a certain way. But if you think you have the mark of Cain, okay, no, it's not a physical mark. If it would be a physical mark, okay, if it would be a physical mark, it would be acne. Okay? It would just be pimples, literally. Everyone gets pimples. Everyone's Cain. Right? Our flesh, our skin ain't perfect. We got the curse in our flesh, literally. It's pimples. That's literally all it is. Right? You trying to take your prom pictures, your marriage pictures, you know what I'm saying, your graduation pictures, you got a damn pimple on your face, you're going to feel cursed. You're going to feel like, fuck, this shit suck, right? You're going to feel negative. You're going to feel exile. Let's not take these pictures today. Let's not get married today. Let's not go there today. It's acne. It's not anything more, anything less. Right? In heaven, we got perfect skin and shit. It gets deep. People don't talk about acne. Ain't no spiritual acne and shit like, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, thank God he told me this. I can tell you guys, right? Ain't gonna lie, I made this video twice. I made my original individual path perspective on it, and God reminded me, hey, you're supposed to be on the polarity path. Look, this is, you know, Cain came to me, right? Show me what it really is, right? But you may have the mark of Cain, right? If you were surrounded by death your whole life, but you always seem to escape it. Okay, people around you dying since you were a child, but you always seem to be unharmed. Maybe your past enemies, right? You see their karma play out. Right, in my own life, I had people who, you know, tried to harm me and things like that, right? Their karma came very swift. A lot of them not here on the earth anymore, right? Is that Cain's mark, right? We can think that's Cain's mark, but again, we have our own mark. That could just be your mark. That's your mark. You get what I'm saying? Take claim, right? You're a king, right? That's you. Everything you do is you. You're a queen. Everything you do is you. Let Cain live his individual life. Cain don't need us taking his mark or something. A lot of us aren't actually his descendants. A lot of us aren't from his bloodline. You may be having to deal with your own mark or your family's mark, your ancestors' mark, right? That's just our energy. Individually, when we all come together, that's polarity, right? Cain is with us too. You get what I'm saying? But we're here on the earth now, doing what's important now for this generation, this time period, this reincarnation. You know what I'm saying? This gift, this blessing. Right now, right? A lot of us practice magic. We're wizards, right? This is a magic channel, right? We can break curses. We can break marks if we want, right? But again, this mark really be unbreakable because it's you. Okay, realize you are unbreakable. It's like trying to break you. You are unbreakable. Know that. You know what I'm saying? No one can break you. No one can break your mark. You can't break your own mark. You get what I'm saying? Like in the magic world, you can, right? But I haven't even tried to do that. Ain't no point. It's me, right? Take accountability. Take responsibility for yourself. Why are you trying to break yourself? You know what I'm saying? That's very negative. I haven't even been that depressed to try to break myself. You get what I'm saying? Not that deeply. Not at all. So raise yourself up. Raise your vibration. Raise your conscious. Raise your conscious. Raise your spirit. You know what I'm saying? All we have is spirit. Raise your spirit. Your spirit can't break. Okay, realize if you are going through spiritual wars, maybe you're new to the spirituality stuff, you're going through spiritual wars. Okay, realize whatever spirit you destroy, if you get that strong, that you can destroy spirits. I done destroyed a couple spirits, okay? 99% of the time, they will come back. Okay, God is really pushing this forgiveness. He forgave the first murderer. He forgives murderers. Okay? That's just the way it is, right? He's God. He got superpowers and all kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? Whatever spirit you kill, 9 times out of 10, it will come back. The only time it has not came back, okay, is when it's literally a lesson for you. If your spirit really just not getting it, your spirit not getting it, you're going to realize how evil it really is to kill spirits. You know what I'm saying? Same way for us, you know, how spirited people, us angels, you know what I'm saying, us magicians, right? We'll kill the devil will come back with the same exact energy. You know what I'm saying? 99% the same is his energy. It's his mark. Whatever demon you kill, that's still a mark. You know what I'm saying? That mark can come back. You know what I'm saying? Very rarely will God let you actually kill a spirit. It's very evil. It's a very wicked practice. Right? Just forgive them. A lot of times they're just dark. They're lower vibrational. They're immature. They're not wise. They don't realize God is still protecting them like he's protecting Cain. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, raise your spirit up. Realize you have that internal strength to handle these lower spirits that you may come across. Right? Even people with like lust, people can destroy lust. It'll come back. People can destroy jealousy. These wicked spirits, it'll come back. People can destroy hate. It'll come back. You get what I'm saying? These are spirits, literally. These are marks. So in conclusion, right, just be very, very careful about your actions. Think eternities into the future. Whatever action you do will be with you for little eternities. That's your mark. You choose to be a good person today, that's your mark. You choose to be a negative person today, that's your mark. It's with you, right? You choose to do some regrettable things, that's your mark. So don't be marked negative. You get what I'm saying? But it's up to you and your willpower. But realize, right, this is like in our Akashic records. This is in our soul's records, our spirit's records. We have records. All the actions you take, good or bad, is your mark. That's how angels will look at you. They know your mark. They can see your mark clear as day. That's how more powerful demons will look at you, right? Because demons are just angels. They can see your mark. That's how God, everyone, every higher spirit, they in the polarity conscious, that's how everyone's going to look at you. Everyone knows your mark already. Some people are just not aware of it. Some people are blind to it. Some people deny it, like they denied Jesus. Jesus had a mark, right? People just going to deny it. That's their mark. I'm going to deny Jesus. Some people follow Jesus, right? That's their mark. You know what I'm saying? Some people do magic. That's their mark. If you do magic, you're marked with magic, okay? I gave y'all this morning when I first started the channel. You do magic, you marked for eternity. You follow God, you marked for eternity. You work with devils, you mark with that. You work with demons, you mark with that. You work with angels, you are marked with that. You work with other gods, you are marked with that. You know what I'm saying? Good and bad, pros and cons. But ultimately, it's your truth. And that's your authentic self, right? Be authentic. So don't do no regrettable, shameful, you know what I'm saying? That's the mark of Cain, really. It's reminding him of his shame. Reminding him of his past anger, his past mistakes, his regrettable decisions. That's the mark. Even so, God's still going to protect you. God's still going to love you. You get what I'm saying? Other spirits can look past the negative. You know what I'm saying? Don't even mention it. We already know. We done seen all your reincarnations. You get what I'm saying? Some super magic, super high spirit. We done seen all your reincarnations. You know what I'm saying? You don't gotta bring it up. You already know about it. Other people, right, don't know how to take it. It just depends on how high their spirits are. Some people want to hide their mark. Some people want to show their mark. Some people think they got the best mark in the world. Some people don't even know they got a mark. You have a mark, I'm telling you. You definitely have a mark. So understand that, understand that, overstand that. But peace and blessings. Thank y'all for making it to the end. I hope y'all have a super day, a super week, a super month, a super year, working with our super angels. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Till next time. Peace.